Hey, so today was Pink Shirt Day, the nice needs no filter. So the thing I like about the nice needs no filter is it can relate to kindness, it can relate to unplugging, and it can also relate to just how you treat other people. I don't like to use the word anti-bullying because if you talk about bullying, if you focus on bullying, then it actually increases bullying. So it'd be the same if I wanted to teach somebody to catch a Frisbee. Instead of saying don't drop, I would instead say just catch. Okay, so when we talk about nice needing no filter, it's all about being yourself, right? We don't need a filter on that. Nice and kind, right? So how do we express kindness? So a big thing with kindness is actually the more that you decrease screen time, the more that you increase empathy. So the less time we're looking at a screen, the more time we're spending with people, talking to people, being in front of them, looking in their face, seeing their expressions, looking in their eyes, being around them, seeing how they interact with the environment. Us actually practicing interacting with the environment, that's going to increase empathy, which leads to increased kindness. And so that's why I really like the theme of this year's Pink Shirt Day is nice needs no filter. And that's something I was talking to the kids quite a bit about today was the idea of unplugging. I challenged them to get unplugged again. And I've been doing a lot of reading and research recently based on some recommendations from my colleagues. And a book that I've been reading is called Glow Kids. And something that the author talks about in Glow Kids, which I really like, and it's an easy way to talk to kids about unplugging and educate them on the importance of unplugging, is the idea that kids, their brains are still developing. And so for adults, it is not as detrimental for us to be on screens. That doesn't mean that we should be on screens 6 or 7 hours a day, but it's not as detrimental for us to be on screens because our brains are more fully developed than kids are. Okay, so especially the author was saying, especially for kids who are 10 years and younger, he's saying no screen time at all, which I absolutely love. And, I've talked to a lot of teachers and principals, and there's a lot of schools that have rules in place or policies in place that make it so each classroom has their own policies where it says, no cell phones allowed, in class unless your teacher says so. But the thing about not setting those upper limit policies, so instead of saying, okay, the district is going to set a school-wide or district-wide policy on device use, instead we're going to let the schools do it, and then the schools put on the classroom, and now it's on every single teacher. And lots of inconsistencies, the way that people explain it is completely different, and so that's not a good thing. And so I'm a big proponent of setting those district-wide board-level policies for schools. For example, France is banning cell phone use in all schools in France in fall of 2018, which I love it. It's amazing. So my argument is, what happens if, because everyone's like, oh, technology is a part of our culture, kids have to get, used to using cell phones. But the thing is, I don't think so. I'm one of the most tech savvy people that there is. On the side, I design websites. I've edited thousands of videos. I'm very good with tech. I really did not get into tech until after high school. So the argument that kids need to be using technology, need to get used to it, for what purpose? Okay? I literally have not heard a single good argument. Well, to communicate, to present. Present without technology or computer. That's the thing. Like, some of the best presenters don't need technology to present, right? Because they are compelling enough, they're entertaining enough, they have a good enough message that you don't need to have videos and pictures and things like that to entertain you. Some might say, oh, they need to learn to use Facebook and Twitter and things like that. Well, 10 years ago, this stuff didn't exist. 10 years from now, it'll be something new. So it's not about so much the network as how to actually communicate with people. So if we teach kids how to communicate with each other more effectively, then it doesn't matter if they're online or offline. But I don't believe that we teach them to communicate effectively using technology. I think that we teach them to communicate effectively in person, face-to-face, empathy, right? If we're teaching kids how to communicate only using electronics, then they're not going to be able to see the other person's face. That's why I talk about screen time and how the more time you spend in front of a screen, the more empathy decreases as you go. So decrease screen time, increase empathy, improve communication. I believe that we need to develop this. That's why there's a lot of high-level executives in Silicon Valley who send their kids to schools that don't use tech at all, because they know the detriment of this, right? There's a lot of people being paid a lot of money at Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat to figure out how to get us to spend more time in front of a screen, okay? Let's spend less time in front of a screen. There's a lot of amazing things that we can do. Instead of watching a movie, let's read a book. Okay, a book is our imagination, a movie is someone else's imagination. So if you find that you're reading a book and you find a movie better, maybe your imagination needs some work. Instead of playing Minecraft, let's encourage kids to do Lego, right? Minecraft has been around for a couple years. Is it going to be around 5 or 6 years from now? Probably not. How long has Lego been around, right? So let's actually get kids building stuff. Because, technology is fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's us who matters, right? If we could take away technology and we could still be the people that we are, we could still do some amazing, wonderful things. But I'm really concerned about the impact that technology is having on kids. Again, their brains are still developing. So, for adults to spend time in front of a screen, it doesn't have the same impact that it does on kids. And so super important, I think, to do that. I think instead of slowly becoming more lenient, I think we need to dial things back and say, hey, like, what's going to be the impact if we actually get them away from screens? What? They're not going to be able to use technology? Totally false. Again, I did not use technology much as a kid, wasn't really around when I was a kid, and I'm one of the most tech-savvy people you meet, designing websites, editing videos, working on Photoshop, things like that. So, and the thing is too, like, kids aren't even that good with tech. Just because they can use Facebook doesn't mean they're that good. Doesn't mean they're that good, right? Ask them about the cloud. Ask them about software, right? They don't actually understand technology, hardware, software, things like that. Just because they can use a social network or edit a video, that doesn't actually mean that they're good with technology. So that's my challenge for you. Today's Pink Shirt Day, was Pink Shirt Day. Had a great time. It was my 5th year speaking. Thank you to Brittany and thank you to Kelsey for the opportunity and for the support. And I brought Davy with me. The kids absolutely love Davy. He had a good time sleeping and hanging out and just being the fun, lazy whippet that he is. So hope everyone had a fantastic day, and we will talk to you soon.